So the last topic of your class 11 syllabus is inverse function. So the detailed concept of inverse function will be dealt in class 12. Now you just need to know the basic of inverse function. So what is an inverse function? If you have a function f which connects elements of A to elements of B. Let us say that an element x is connected to an element y. So I say that y is equal to f of x. Y is the image of x with respect to f. Now the inverse function, which is usually denoted by f inverse, f power minus 1. The inverse function is a function defined from B to A, which brings back x from y. That is, f inverse of y, the image of y with respect to f inverse is nothing but x. So inverse function is a function which does exactly the reverse of the operation which happens in the f function. So if y is equal to f of x, then x will be equal to f inverse of y. So in 11th class, this is what you need to understand. So if y is equal to f of x, then x is equal to f inverse of y. For example, if you are asked to find the inverse, so let us take a very simple question. So let f of x is equal to 2x plus 3. And you are asked to find f inverse of x. So what you do is something like this. So we know that f of x is nothing but y. So this given function is of the form y is equal to some function of x, which is 2x plus 3. So this implies if you want the inverse function, what you need to find is the value of x. So x will be equal to f inverse of y. So if y is some function of x, so 2x is equal to y minus 3. This implies x is equal to y minus 3 by 2. X is equal to y minus 3 by 2, right? So this is nothing but f inverse of y. So if y is some function of x, x will be equal to f inverse of y. So f inverse of y is equal to y minus 3 by 2. So what is f inverse of x? So if you take y inside f inverse, you get y minus 3 by 2. If you take x inside f inverse of x, you get, instead of y, you get x minus 3 by 2. So that will be the function f inverse of x, x minus 3 by 2. And the important property that happens is f of f inverse will always be equal to identity function. So if you see the machine interpretation of this, so if you have the function f and you have the function f inverse, f converts x to f of x, f inverse converts f of x back to x. That means the effective machine becomes the identity function. So f of f inverse of x is nothing but x. F and f inverse in some way cancel out each other. So f of f inverse x is equal to x, right? F of f inverse of x is equal to x, and f inverse of f of x is also equal to x. So in some way f and f inverse gets cancelled. So this is the concept of inverse function. So there is a lot more to learn about inverse function, but those are the topics which will be best left for 12th class. Thank you.